Hey, I'm Naomi Hall, and I want to welcome you to Mindset Makeover, our virtual summit to help you find your power through fitness, nutrition, and community. We all kind of know what we're supposed to do to live a healthy life, but we struggle to do it. And I found that two of the pieces that are important for our success are our mindset and our community. They're so important and they can make or break our success. So today I have with me Esteban Lutz, and he is the visionary founder of Vida Personal Training and the K7 method. With over 30 years of experience in the fitness and nutrition industry, Esteban is a true expert in helping people achieve their best selves through mindset, nutrition, and fitness coaching. Esteban, I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
And can I just ask you, can you introduce your dog who's behind you? We've had
All right. So behind me, she's passed out. It's Tater. When we picked her up as a puppy, she was heavy like a potato sack and just lumpy. So we're like sweet potato. And then it got shortened to Tater. Now she has not a real sister, but another sister, Boxer, in the other room. So at some point they're going to miss each other and we'll hear the whining or scratching on the door. So prepare for that.
We're ready for it. We had a guest cat holiday in another one of these. So I was like, all right, we need to know who Tater is. So
there we go. There we go.
Let's talk a little bit about mindset. Like, why is mindset so important and how does it stop us from living our healthiest lives?
So excellent question. Because I'm gonna take a sidestep and I'm gonna come back to that. So many people are like, I don't know what fitness to do. I don't know what food to eat. And then after a quick Google search, that no longer is relevant. So how is it that I have identified what I think I know? And so I'm gonna leave it at that. What I think I should do, yet I'm not doing that. So what ends up happening is we go into old neural pathways. That's that habit loop. Whatever's familiar to us, we tend to steer back towards it. When it comes to the mindset is, and I'm going to go back and forth with this, it's forecasting. So I'll speak with Naomi. She's like, this is where I'm at. I typically would hear, I want to lose weight. Got it. Well, what do you want to do? I want to drop 25 pounds. Fantastic. Can we cut off your leg to do that? No, I don't want that. So it's not about the weight loss. Okay, then if it's not about the weight loss, what do you believe that weight represents? Well, I've got an anniversary. I've got my 20-year anniversary with my spouse, and we're going on a cruise. I really want to feel sexy for my 20-year. I've been missing. So it's like, okay, got it. So now we're identifying what that is. The mindset comes in. And so when I forecast and I am that representative 20 pounds lighter, when I am confident, when I am energetic, when I am in my sexy, what are my thoughts? So when she, I'm going to call her Stephanie, when she is 20 pounds lighter, what is she saying yes to? And what is she saying no to? Because at that energy, at that confidence, at that physique, that tonus, you have to say yes to multiple things. And at the same time you're saying yes, you get to say no to all of the other things that will create something different. The mindset is that roadmap to that forecasted vision. There we go. I just said it in one sentence right there.
Good. Mindset is the roadmap to the forecasted vision.
I need to write that one down.
I gotcha. How do we get there?
Multiple ways. So here's my plug. K7 represents 7 key principles. So I've been in the fitness nutrition industry since 1991, just a few years. I know, right? My goal, my objective right now.
Hold on. Can you tell people how old you are? Because
I'm almost 50. Thank you. I know I did all this energy. No caffeine. It's all natural. So my goal, my objective is, I forecasted a number, 147 years old. I think, don't quote me on this one either. We can Google it. Joseph's father in the Bible died at 127. And I'm like, if he could live to 127, I'm going to 147. So I've made it my quest, to identify longevity, anti-aging. but with energy. Because when I tell people that, a lot of times they're like, "Oh, why would you want to live that long?" And I'm like, "Bro, you're not living now. Why do you want to even live now?" So going back, so 30 years I've been in the fitness nutrition industry, and I've done it from where I've been a private coach, I've been an executive for a national fitness chain, I've trained, developed, coach over 5,000 trainers. I share that to let people understand I've just gone through a lot of reps. That's really what it comes down to. As a solo coach, I couldn't do the reps that I did working with all those teams. So in one of the companies that I was with, I had 1,000 fitness trainers and nutritional coaches. Whenever we would launch a program after 1 week, we would do, an average of about 30,000 reps. I got more data in 1 week than I could in my entire lifetime.
Mm.
So I share all of that with, I identified 7 key principles to how do I create a transformation with a quick win? Because if we don't have quick wins, we give up. We're like, oh, it doesn't work. I don't work. I suck. So all of these automatic negative thoughts creep in. You got to get them out. Environment. Once you have your vision, you got to have a clear vision on where you're going, what you're creating. That's that mindset. You got to have a clear vision. Then the environment, we're a product of our environment. We behave and we are created by the triggers in our environment. So when you ask, well, how can we do that? How can Stephanie not only drop to 20 pounds, but live and act as if she's already there before she's there? Shift your environment. If there's temptation, we will not beat temptation. For anybody that's been to church and you do that Our Father prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I used to be in Catholic church and we'd hold hands. It says, and lead me not into temptation. The prayer that was taught to us was not ask for a bigger willpower. Willpower gets exhausted as the day goes along. So if I do not have temptation within my environment, I'm not going to fall prey to that because we're a product of that. And I want triggers that will create that energy, the confidence, the identity that I want. My office, for instance, has the triggers all around. I've got multiple resistance equipment, dumbbells in the side. I've got a stability ball that you can sort of see in the back. I've got bungee bands, resistor bands. I'm like, it's not called bungee bands. I've got the GI tract back there because I love studying the digestive system. And it triggers me to think and behave a specific way. So that's the one thing after having that clear vision. Second, you had mentioned it, tribe. Tribe highly influences us. We're going to be birds of a feather, flock together. We're going to behave because we're going to speak what the tribe speaks. And when you speak, it triggers thoughts and emotions, and we're going to act upon that. So if you've identified that, the people that I'm around aren't supportive of me being this energetic and confident self. And I say that because somebody's tone body, that's a relative term. It's completely different for everybody. However, the way of being, you can identify, does that match or does it not match? For instance, spouse. So if I'm around other men that are checking out other females that aren't their wife, I'm like, yo, bro, check her out. That could become my behavior. When I'm around other men that edify, honor, cherish their wife, respect that sanctity that they have, then I guess that's the way I'm supposed to behave. And I end up doing that. So my invitation to people is look for evidence of people living the way that you choose and you're committed to living. And how do you join that tribe? If I want to be a great golfer, I'm not going to hang around the boaters. They're not playing golf. Nothing against the people that are on the boats. I'm going to go to a country club with people that play golf so I can get better at golf. And that's, the tribe is just key. We end up behaving and getting the result of the people we surround ourselves with.
I completely agree with that. You're right. Like you become like the people you surround yourself with. And another interview I just did brought up this study, and I'm sure you've seen this study. They brought someone into a room and like one line was definitely longer than the other, but when everybody else in the room said the wrong answer, the person gave in. Even though you're smart, you know what the right answer is. When the community goes the other way,
Yep.
whether you want to or not.
And that's so important, because a lot of times our conviction is like, well, I know what's right. I know what's right for me. We're programmed to be influenced, and I think about, we're in 2023. Think back a few years ago, the COVID, the pandemic, you're for masks, you're against masks, you're for the shot, you're against the shot. So it wasn't that, hey, this is what's best for me in this situation, in this scenario. We typically ended up, there's the line, we're divided based on our tribe. What do I believe? So you're asking permission. What do I believe? And many studies in the hopping on an elevator, everybody's facing one funky way, and then I haven't done this ever, but if everybody's doing it, I got to do it. So the what was that? I know I'm getting on the older side, but the Kool-Aid thing, John Jones,
Yeah.
everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid and they're killing themselves. I guess that's what we do. So the tribe is super powerful, to the point that, yes, we have documented cases where people openly killed themselves to be part of tribe. Know who's around you. And it's like the parents, Johnny's not a good friend for you to be around, so I don't want you to see Johnny anymore. What, Mom? You can't tell me who my friends can be? And Mom had a lot of wisdom. So identify that wisdom for yourself.
So what do you do when, because some of our tribe we can't pick, what do you do when some of those people aren't the vision that you want for yourself, but they're not supportive of that? How do you handle that?
All right, give me specific on who that is, because depending on who it is, we address it differently based on other roles and other relationships. Because I do hear that a lot. I'll hear,
Let's say spouse.
I'll openly, females come into my tribe more than the males do. Privately, I have many male executives that'll hire me. Globally, within my community, it's typically females. I'll openly say it, the females are wiser, taking care of themselves. So I'll have Stephanie saying, I'm eating this and my freaking husband is eating ice cream over there. He's like, nah, you go ahead and eat the salad. I'm supporting you. Bull junkie, you're not supporting me if you're eating the freaking ice cream that I love right in front of me. So it's a combination of, I'm going to say two things. It could be more than two, but I'm going to say two things. Number one, if I went, my wife yesterday, we have horses on our property. My wife's been riding horses all her life. However, Western riding versus English and jumping. I know, before I had horses, I'm like, what the heck is that? It's just two different styles, for those of you that don't know horses. So yesterday she took a lesson. She's riding the horse and I was going to jump over the little fences. She hadn't done it her whole life. That's important to her. That's something she wants to do. That's an activity she wants to do. Okay, I don't have to do it. So you identify, can I still have the relationship with my spouse and us not live exactly the same? Sometimes the answer is yes. However, if the spouse is doing behaviors, so when my wife would have her lessons, it'd be like, I already made plans for both of us to go. I'm not supporting her in that. So if your spouse is not supporting you in that, you've got to have the heart to heart. I had that. So I'm going to do it because I'm going to do it. So here I am, the 49-year-old coach, and I do this. I purposely lift up my shirt and I'm like, yep, I got a six pack just to show you that at 50, it doesn't mean that you're about to die. You can have a tone, energetic body. So I had a conversation with my wife. I am so weak to pizza. I mean, you could have a pizza that's been 3 days old on the counter and it's starting to curl up. I'll still eat it. Like, I love pizza that much. And we live on a road with multiple family members. I believe there's a total of 7 family homes on this road, and 30 of us get together 2-3 times a week. So there's always a birthday party. There's always an event and with big gatherings, pizza and ice cream are just common. I could say no to the ice cream. It doesn't tempt me. Pizza and I have this beautiful relationship. And I asked her, I said, I need you not to get pizza. Please, please. She's like, suck it up, increase your willpower. I'm like, so in multiple times for 6 months straight, I would have the conversation. I'm like, here's the reality. I'm weak to the moment. If I was a recovering alcoholic, you wouldn't ask to order a drink right next to me. If I was a recovering anything, whatever drug that I was addicted to, you wouldn't ask. So I genuinely had a heart to heart with her. I've got a 16-year-old son, had a heart to heart with him. I'm like, I genuinely need your support. I'm going to want it. If you ask me, do you want it? The answer is absolutely yes. Do I want the effects of it? No. And I need your help. I need your support. I'm not strong enough on my own. So I truly became totally vulnerable to where they felt my authenticity and they've supported me. And this was near the end of last year. So in all of this year, it's like, no, Dad, you said no, so we're not doing it. In this case, pizza was not a temptation to them. They could do without it. Or if they're going to do it, I'm just not going to be around. So whatever that is for you, for Stephanie, and if the spouse is not on board, either is it disrupted, and this it is, have a heart to heart. If it's not the spouse and somebody that you don't live with, you just get to not see them as often. That's just real. I have another client that meets a friend weekly. So they go walking and the friend loves to get ice cream, loves it every single time. And my client's like, I can't do this anymore with you. Like, it's non-supportive. Like, you're not understanding what this is doing to me. So the friend's like, whoa, 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 whoa. It was like a breakup situation because she's had this conversation multiple times. And she's like, I can't go on the walks with you anymore because you don't realize how serious I am. And then a friend again realized, we'll see this weekend, that breaking up did not trump the eating the ice cream, at least not with her anyway. And for some people, eating ice cream shows love and connection. Oh, when you're a good girl, let's go get ice cream. And that was pizza for me. I grew up in a household where I never saw my parents kiss or hug, and we didn't eat dinner as a family. Parents got divorced at a young age, but I do remember moving to the United States. I grew up in another country, shocker with this name. And when I read so many books, is what they had. I don't know if the schools still do this. Pizza Hut would give you a pan pizza thing. So I'm like, okay, I'm awesome because I won something. The family's together and they're celebrating me. So when I identified, and I was an adult, it wasn't that many years ago that I identified, holy crap, it's not just the flavor and the chemicals that I'm addicted to. I'm addicted to the emotions that are triggered with that. So for me, pizza equals love and connection. I'm like, oh. So I got to retrain myself. What else could I do that triggers love and connection? And that's where, again, you identify with your spouse, with whomever else. What is it that's sabotaging? It's an environment. If the pizza is in the environment, I am a product of that environment. So the tribe influences the environment dictates our identity.
Wow, it's all so connected. The mindset, the community, the triggers, all of it. And yes, I earned a lot of those pizzas.
That was awesome.
Oh my goodness, Friday night Pizza Hut. I was like, yes, I'll have my personal pan pizza.
And it was so cool because you'd get like these glasses with whatever cartoons were popular at the time. Saturday morning cartoons. That was the best.
Oh yeah, Bugs Bunny. I was there.
I had a Tasmanian Devil cup from Pizza Hut. Yep.
Yes. See, I'm not too much younger than you.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's embedded in my memory.
Yeah, but you're right. Like when you start digging, it's not just the food, there's more to it, of like the comfort that came with it, or kind of my parents were divorced when I was young, and so like coming home to an empty apartment after school, like eating for me is a comfort,
Yeah.
and then like when you realize like the food doesn't even taste that good, you're like,
Why am I doing it? And there's triggers that create that. So the logic doesn't matter. And that's where I go back to that environment. Create the environment so that the triggers that are created are building you in the cruise ship with that sexy ass sundress, with your confidence where you can just show up as you with your authentic self. We're a product of the triggers of the environment.
Can we go back to the part where it's not someone that lives with you, it's not your spouse, that it's okay to pull away from a relationship that's not helping you achieve your vision?
Yes. So where did you go to elementary school?
I went to a small public elementary school in New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Okay. Do you remember any best friends you had first through fifth grade?
Yep, Robin and Casey.
Robin, what grade?
Oh, I think we've been friends since like kindergarten, first grade.
Okay, somebody else that you're not friends with now.
Yeah, she and I are not friends now.
Okay, so that's a perfect example. It's like, hey, we were really, really close during a season of our life, and now during the different seasons, not that we got into a fight,
Nope.
we've just grown separate from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's okay to have different seasons in life, and like my college roommates, I love them to death. When we get together, we act like we're so that tribe influences even the behaviors. It's like we act like we're college students again, which is ridiculous, and it's real. However, we don't communicate on a daily basis. Although we were super close during that season, if we need anything from each other right now, we drop it and we take care of, it's like, hey, I got your back.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't surround ourselves with each other on a daily basis, and it's okay. Like we're still okay with that. So I give you permission to shift tribe for a season of your life. It's okay. Like could it be challenging? Yeah, it could be. And you also have to identify, do I want this greater vision of myself more than my thoughts and the stories I'm creating about this relationship? The reality, some people say no. Some people are like, you know what? I am too scared to identify what's going to be different if they're not part of my life, that I'm willing to be here with my vision. That's some people. And I'm like, well, you're not optimizing the way that you live, and you're not going to be 147 either.
Yep.
I'm bullish when I coach now. It's like, if this is what you want to, if you want to build the starship with Legos, you have to build it in a specific way. And if you don't, that's not what you're going to build. Not good, not bad. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, we have choices. My background is education, and one of the phrases, you have choices, but you don't get to choose the consequences of your choices. Like,
Good.
if the consequences come, you made a choice, that's what's going to happen. So it's kind of the same here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking about the kind of back at the beginning, like you want to lose 20 pounds, but there's a story behind that. What happens, because this has happened for me, when you start to realize how good you feel, and how good you feel becomes what you want rather than the weight. Can we talk about
Well, I think that's fantastic. So there was a chapter in my life where I was like, oh, you shouldn't weigh yourself. And now I'm like, that's a bunch of crap. If you want weight loss, weigh yourself, track it, identify if you're heading in the direction of the goal that you set or you're not. Because I can, I'll point to my digestion over there. If my weight goes up, I know something that I'm doing is not working. More than likely I'm causing inflammation, which is I'm making my body sick. And I'm gonna tangent and then I'm gonna come back to that. Inflammation is like if I get stung by wasps in my arm, 5 wasps sting my arm, boom, it poofs up. I get acute inflammation right there. When we're consuming poisons, which are approved by the FDA, which is a bunch of crap, but that's another topic for another day, it's creating something called leaky gut, which then I have bio products, chemicals, toxins going into my bloodstream, and it causes poofiness of the hand. You can see it on Facebook and Instagram. People have poofy faces. You're like, holy shit, are they like an orangutan? We have poofy faces, poofy fingers, poofy belly. No amount of me starving myself is going to take this poison down from the wasp. No amount of me running 5Ks and 10Ks and marathons will take the poofiness down. The only thing that will is, let me get the poison out of my system. So weighing yourself gives you some feedback. Am I being poisoned or not? That's one thing. 2, that's a first idea. It's like, oh, man, I want to go to the beaches. Okay, so you have a close destination. Well, what beach? I don't know. I just want to go Florida. I want to go to the Florida beaches. So I want to drop 20 pounds. Okay, got it. And then when you have a good coach, so I will always recommend having an ideal coach that can support you with the vision casting, because a lot of times we know what we don't want, and it's okay to start there. It really is. It's like I wake up and I'm tired. It's the middle of the day. I want to take a nap and I want to drink a soda or have a coffee. Like I shouldn't be this tired. But so going down that road, it's like, okay, I know what you don't want. So can we flip the coin? So they've got to be able to speak what it is that they want. Well, I want more energy. Got it. So as we're losing the weight, Then we're addicted to that. We realize, oh, it's not the scale, but it's what I thought it represented. And here's
Mhm.
the truth. The human body is designed the way the human body is. So there is an ideal optimal range when it comes to inflammation, body fat, weight per se. Just like if you were to look at any animal in the wild, they're really close to each other in weight because they're living the ideal optimal life. Here in this country, we're poisoned all the time.
Mhm.
We have foods that have chemicals that are addictive. So there's a massive fluctuation in optimal health and sickness. And I'm going to call fat, obese, that's sick. That's a sign of you're not in good health if you're overweight. Overweight is a sign of, oh, I'm ill. So
Mhm.
that's why I'm increasing inflammation and body fat. And when that goes down, that means the illness is going away. That means diseases is going away. That means immunity is up. That means muscle and movement is metabolism. That's your energy. That's your main site for glucose dumping. You can mitigate that and manage it. Oh, I feel great. Yep, I'm almost 50 years old, and this is normal for me.
Mhm.
And most people will be like, the only way I could do that is in drugs. I know, because you're not eating, sleeping, drinking water a specific way to where you own this energy all the time.
Mhm.
So I love the fact when people flip that switch and they're like, oh, I'm so addicted to the way that I feel, how clear my mind is, how strong I am. When I make a decision, I don't wishy-wash. It is what it is. And I keep going with it. So that's a great phase to grow into.
And I love how you don't throw the scale out. The scale is an indicator, and how you feel is an indicator. So, like me, for example, literally this summer, beginning of summer, I felt amazing. I was doing all the things. Like I was doing the right things. I felt good. I was fueling my body right. And then I watched over the summer, and it took me a little bit to catch this. Like I started to not feel so great, and I weighed myself, and I was up 8 pounds since June. And I was like, huh. And for me, it wasn't just that I weighed more. It was that I know that number indicates that I'm not doing
That's it.
the right
Yep.
things.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of people weighing themselves. It's an excellent tool. It's just like I wear this Fitbit and I track my sleep number. If my sleep number is not within my target, then it's like, okay, what did I do yesterday to create this, and what can I do today to shift it? Had I not looked at my numbers, I'm like, I feel like crap. It's just I just feel like crap just because I'm getting old. That's just the way it is. No, there's a cause and effect. So whatever it is that you're tracking, weight is a great neutral indicator that's like, okay, I put on 4 pounds between yesterday and today. I did not eat that much food.
Mhm.
No. And you did something that created inflammation. And that is an effect of the body's being attacked. So you're going to feel like crap. And if you don't make corrective decisions, you're going to continue into I feel like crap pattern until we do. And what typically happens is this is kind of feeling tight. I wonder how much I weigh. Well, shit. You could have fixed this in 2 or 3 days. Now it's going to take 6 months to
Mhm.
correct.
Mhm. Yeah. I'm in the correction right now, and I have to say, I feel so much better. And
Awesome.
it's what I'm eating, it's what I'm putting in my body, and it was just I was enjoying summer.
Yeah, and with the weight, I will say there's some individuals that are like, it causes an imbalance with my self worth, and I tell those people go see a professional therapist, because if you hop on a scale and you connect that to self worth, it's just feedback. Like that's all that it is. It's not good. It's not bad. If you spit and pee, you're gonna weigh less. If you poop, you're gonna weigh less. If you drink a glass of water, you're gonna weigh more. All it is feedback that you're gauging over a 7, 14, 21 day cycle. Where am I? And for those individuals that they go into a trauma side, I like sincerely, I'm like, go seek professional help, because it's just a scale. Like, that's it. Like, oh, if my sleep number's off, I go into this emotional roller coaster. Okay, bro, it's just a sleep number. Go seek professional help. And I genuinely say that empathetically, a little tongue in cheek, kidding wise, and seek professional help.
Yeah, like there is help. There is.
Yeah, because
I
that's
wanna
real for some people.
yes.
And if it is for you, go seek some help, because a scale should not trigger that.
Right. And the freedom that you can have if you do get help, you
Yep.
know? Two things that you said that I want to hit on. One is that phrase, and you probably hate this as much as I do. Oh, it's just how you feel at this age. Oh, it's just getting older. And I firmly believe that that's a
Yep.
bunch of baloney. Like, you can feel good at any age.
Yeah, we hear that a lot from the medical field,
Mhm.
um, culture, society. And I actually had a conversation with one of my clients this morning. She's 57 years old. She lost 70 pounds in 6 months. So I just give a reference of how much she's changed.
Mm.
You look at her and it's ironic. People walk up to her, they're like, so what sports did you do in high school and college? She's like, none. It's just me doing it now. So one of the things she's mentioned is she follows groups, Instagram and Facebook, of 50 plus that are very fit. She goes, that made me realize that I am not stuck to an age, because she was saying, I always heard you're older than this age. It's over for you. Your peak is gone. And she says, I feel the best now than I have my entire life. So seek evidence of people that are in a similar situation to you that are living the vision that you're committed to going. I'll mention that one again. So if I can't because I'm a parent, whatever you think your barrier is, I can't because I'm 50, I can't because I'm 60, I can't because I'm missing an arm or I don't have a kidney. Identify people that have something similar that have achieved the goal. And then that shifts the belief like, oh, it is possible. Therefore, so the neural pattern shifts. There's plasticity in the way our brain thinks and what we believe. So the more evidence we see of something, the more realistic it is, and subconsciously we can step into those thoughts, beliefs, patterns, actions.
Yeah, I love that. 'Cause yeah, I'm like, no, it is not. Like, this is not what 40s are going to be. And I say in my 40s,
Yeah,
this is my healthiest decade.
that's
Healthiest.
awesome. Awesome.
Like, feel the best. Like, I battled chronic illness for most of my adult life. And honestly, I'm like, I am the strongest, healthiest, fittest I have been. And I'm like, it's just going up from here. Like, I was excited to hit 40. I'm looking forward to 50 when it comes, you know. I'm like,
You're paving the pathway. This is what's possible.
yeah, yeah.
And I like that for people that step into that role because they realize I have influence. And when you realize that, and we all have influence, when you realize that you've got that influence, then there's a level of maturity and responsibility that kicks in. And it's like I love ice cream too. Like let's get real. I like the ice cream. These are designed to trigger the serotonin, the oxytocin, that feel good hormones. And I'd be like, you know what? Then I'm not going to show up in a way that has positive influence for somebody that doesn't have the same energy and confidence that I do. If I shift the way that I look and that I feel, who am I going to impact at that point? I am no longer that beacon or that light for the 50-year-old. So it's like, no. You get to step up with that responsibility. And I like that because there's a sense of good pressure that comes there. It's like this is not only for me, but
Mhm.
this is legacy that I'm leaving behind as well.
Yep. And I love that you hit legacy because I'm like, there's a younger generation coming up that doesn't have to go through what we went through. That like I train with kids in martial arts, and I'm like, there are young girls on that floor that are watching me. I'm like, I want them to know that they don't have to stop.
Yep.
Like, they can keep going.
And that's so good because a lot of times I think back when I was young, 50 years old, you were almost dead.
Mm. Yeah.
It's like dude, you're never athletic, you don't look good, your energy sucks, you're on so many medications, and you're like two breaths away from dying. So that was my perception when I was young. Now, had I met somebody that was 50, 60, 70 that embodied something different, which as I got older, I do. I have 204-year-olds that, I visualize them and they were paddleboarding in Florida, and I'm like, that's who I want to be like. It's
Mhm.
so awesome. I'm like,
Yeah.
how many people live to be 104? And how many do without being stuck in a chair in a bed that are paddleboarding and loving life?
Yeah.
So it's great to again identify and look for evidence, and it's great when we're that evidence for somebody else.
Yeah. The other thing I want to hit on that you said was sleep. How important is sleep in our health journey?
Where's your phone? Okay. If you are in the reserve thing where that little yellow light kicks on
Mhm.
and it's almost about to die, and there's an emergency with your kids or school, work, you can't contact them. It's done. It's down.
Mhm.
So, okay, that's the phone. How about my body? So a lot of times we forget that I have to repair and recover. I have to detoxify myself. So there's a lot that's happening with the human body while we're sleeping that we
Mhm.
don't take into account. And it's similar to put the phone down, plug it in, and have it recharge. With the computer, there's a shutdown time. They're doing all of this edits and fighting whatever potential viruses are in the computer, and the human body's doing the same thing. There's a repair and recovery phase. There's a circadian rhythm, and when you eat prior to going to sleep and post waking up, there's a lot of value in that. All to be said that sleeping is as important as all of the other aspects. So I got to work out. I got to get strong. And you get to sleep and to repair and recovery. It's not that one's more important than the other. They're all valuable. They're all part of life. Protect your sleep. Protect your sleep. Protect your sleep. Protect your sleep.
Yeah, so part of my business as well as stress management and like the foundations, movement, nutrition, sleep, hydration, mindset. Like,
Yeah, if I don't get proper sleep, I'm going to be off. My adrenals are going to be off. I'm not going to think straight. So here I am. I'm talking to you, and it's like, yeah. Bro, you're showing up in a crappy way. Why? Could have had good sleep and showed up fully refreshed. The battery's all the way up, and your mind is sharp. There's so many aspects that go on, as you mentioned, internally, so that we show up full of energy externally.
yeah, like if I had to pick one, I'd be like sleep. Like sleep is like
It's
so.
undervalued, and there was a time in my career where it was a bit of a trophy on. I only got 4 hours of sleep, and look at me functioning. It's like, okay, dummy. How
Mhm.
about you like legit recharge yourself?
Yeah.
Whatever you were doing later, cut it off and respect your body and respect the people that you're going to show up for the following day, that you're actually showing up for them the following day
Yeah.
versus just being there.
Yeah. There's a difference between getting by on a little sleep and there's a difference between thriving on enough
Ooh, I
sleep.
like that. Yeah. You want to thrive.
Yeah.
So what aspects do I need to for thriving? Great sleep is one of the tools for that.
Yeah. Now I understand you have a gift for our audience. You're going to do a webinar for them.
I am. So one of the things that I've noticed, so here's my K for key in seven principles. I have vision and goal setting. I've got um, environment, tribe, kryptonite. That's the bad stuff that makes us sick. I have nutrition, I have fitness, and I have supplementation.
Mm.
So a lot of times people are like, well, what supplements do I take? Number one, it's a cherry on the icing of the cake. It's not the foundation of the cake. And it's so valuable. Again, when I one of the fitness companies I was with had over 4 million members. Another one was ranked number one in the world. I got great feedback. One of the seven principles is supplementation. I share all of that with. It's valuable. It's valuable. It's valuable. It's valuable. So many people at home in their cupboards, they have supplements that may support them, may not support them. They could be crappy. They could be like, they just don't know. They're like, well, I saw this Instagram thing and I'm supposed to order this. So I saw this podcast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a workshop.
Mhm.
And I'm going to highlight, these are the supplements that are supportive based on what we in, I'm going to say the United States, what we're lacking as far as our vitamins or minerals. So if somebody were to get lab work, there is patterns across the United States that we're deficient in. So what are those? What are my supplements for optimal health? What are my supplements for gut health? What are my supplements for? I want to do performance. And here's the reality. Let's say I started off with sports nutrition. Now I'm into many other forms of nutrition. I teach a lot with gut nutrition. Let's say I want sports performance supplements, but my gut health is off. That sports performance is going to be irrelevant
Mhm.
unless it's that there's like a pyramid in the foundation block. So health comes first. And then off of that, we go to optimal range. I will cover all of that. There's a lot of myths out there. I want to clear that up. Like what's real, what's factual, what's a myth. what do we know from clinical studies? What makes sense for optimal performance and what makes sense for I'm just getting by. So and because it'll be live Q&A, so people can ask me questions. I have
Fantastic.
this.
Love it. So
So
we'll have the link to that. The link to that is in the email you got that got you to this interview. And then I'll also put it in the notes at the bottom in case you can't find that email again. It's in the notes. So I am excited for this workshop. I will be there with you.
show up, show up, show up, show up, show up. You're watching it, show up. You've got supplements in your pantry. And it's like, oh, I'm taking it because somebody told me to take it. Is it right for you? So I'm coming in neutral.
Yeah.
I'm not representing any brands. I'm coming in neutral. So it's like optimal performance. I don't want to be the only one in the hundreds living all this full of energy. So I want you there with me as well.
Yeah, we got to make it there. I love that. I'm like that. I got to think on that 147. I love that. So now I just have 3 fun questions for you because I love to end with these.
I'm ready.
I want to know, what are you reading? What are you watching? And what are you listening to?
Okay. Reading. Unless I read at least a book a week. And right now it's, I just had it there. The book is like right down there. It's Ben Hardy, Dr. Ben Hardy.
Okay.
So all of the books that he's published, I'm going from one to another, to another, to another. I've read them all and I'm going back through them again. So there was who, not the how, but one, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. Dang it. Okay. Watching, my wife and I are watching Once Upon a Time at Night. So it's Disney, like Snow White and whatever thingy. We've seen it all before, and it's like, what are we gonna do? So that's our her and me time. A lot of times it's the Game of Thrones. We've gone through that 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Rock on. And then what was the last one? Podcast?
Yes. What do you listen to?
So I study under a doctor named Dr. Gabrielle Lyons. She's got a podcast, and I love listening to her podcast. She's heavy on clinical research. So she brings in clinical researchers. So it's these are the clinical facts. And it's like me going back to school without being back in school. I'm always learning. It's today I know something I didn't know 2 weeks ago, and I find that fascinating. And I'm excited for tomorrow on, what am I going to learn today? I have no clue. And there's many times where I 100% have shifted my belief based on I didn't know what I know today back then. So I get to shift.
Yep. That's awesome. Like I love learning, and podcasts are such a great avenue to do that. Like there's so many good ones out there. I listen to business podcasts. I listen to motivational. I just in another interview mentioned that I just binged the Infinite Wealth podcast, which was
it's what are we feeding ourselves, and it shifts our belief system.
Yeah.
So,
and that Infinite Wealth podcast, I just want to hit on this because you and I are under the same coaching. That came out of the coaching there of like, you need to look into this. And I was like, all right. So I started listening. I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is like, you get exposed to ideas you never would have thought of on your own or been exposed to in your circles.
Yeah, it's and with that, so Dr. Ben Hardy was introduced to us through our coach. And as I'm going through one book, then another book, then another book, he references other books. And I'm like, let me add that to it. So I love going and reading books where the author highlights these books had influence on me. So if I like the way that they're delivering the message, I'm like, well, shoot, let me continue down this rabbit trail. In the last 3 years of my life, I've truly committed to a book a week. Pre that, I was not to that point, and I love it because again, there's so much out there that I don't know. And the more I know, the more I realize, holy cow, like we're not even a granule of sand of knowledge compared to what's truly out there. Yeah. And I've been in my industry for over 30 years. I'm like, there's so much more to learn.
Always learning, always. So I want to thank you for joining us today. This has been fantastic. So many good nuggets in here. I'm like, I have some quotes from you. Perfect.
You got to give me the quote I said about the mindset, because I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that was Holy Spirit for
Yes.
you God people. That was the Holy Spirit.
Mhm. Holy Spirit, I love it. I actually have another woman who will be on who talks about bringing faith into your fitness. Um, so
Can't get
I'm
around it.
excited to talk with her because I think so many times we separate our faith from our life, our fitness, our health, and our faith is part of who we are.
It's
Part
yep.
of
It's the center. It's the core.
Mhm.
Whatever your faith is, you grow around it. Whatever it is. So I love that. I'm excited to see that one.
Yeah. So thank you so much. I want to thank our audience for joining us. Please join this workshop with Esteban. Like you just heard him. He is a wealth of knowledge. He's going to bring that knowledge to you on supplements. I will be there because I want to hear it. I want to learn from him. That's why he's here today. I want to learn from him. There, as I said, this is how I found him, is we're under the same coaching. So God works in amazing ways, whether you believe in him or not. That is what I believe. And he connects us with the people that we need to connect with. And there's a reason you're on here today hearing this message. Listen to his workshop. The link's down in the comments. It's in your email. Join us for that. You won't want to miss it. It's going to be worth it to be there and to learn. So thank you for joining us. Don't miss the other episodes. Thank you, Esteban.
Yes, ma'am.
And everybody have a fantastic day.